Hello, another request video. This one's from Stanley S. I get a lot of comments from Stanley S. But I don't know if I've gotten that many video requests. Kyle, what do you think of online dating and would you ever do it? Also, do you think people who never get married or have kids are made to be treated like outcasts in our society? Thanks, Stan the man, Stanley. Good video request, Stanley, Stan the man. So what do I think of online dating, and would I ever do it? I think online dating is the new dating. It's like the new way to meet people. I think I was on Young Turks a couple weeks ago that there's a huge rise in online dating. There was a big rise 10 years ago, whatever, and I think it's rising again. People are getting interested. I don't know the sites right now. All the sites, I don't know if they come or go. I think they do come and go. Would I ever try it? Yeah. I've tried it. Let's see. I think when Adult Friend Finder came out 5 years ago or whatever, I did it. I'd signed up for it or whatever. I think I wrote some chicks or whatever, but I think that turned out to be a scam. They went out of business, actually. I was selling Young Turks, they and Penthouse. And then I don't have any active profiles now, but I have one on except for Plenty of Fish because it's the free one. And it has a huge database. There's lots of people on there. Yeah, my profile's Kyle Pounds, one word. I should fix it, though. I didn't write that much about it, of myself in there. And I did have a profile on Match, and when I was here in Boulder, in 2008, and I put up a profile, and some chick writes me because she was into this Urantia book that I read, that I listed that I read, and so I went over and hung out with her a couple times. And then I got on Fitness Singles when I was in Austin, and I actually met two chicks from that, but they didn't really want to do fitness stuff with me, so I didn't I only hung out with them a couple times, and that's about it. So I guess I've met 3 people from that. Would I ever try it? I'm kind of spontaneous. I wouldn't put it beyond me. Oh wait, I did. I wrote some chick this summer in June or something, because she looked super fit. She had this really nice body. I lived in Longmont, and I was like, ooh, let's go mountain biking. But yeah, would I write somebody else? I wouldn't put it beyond me. I think what would motivate me is if I suddenly became really horny, and I'd be like, ooh, girls, But honestly, I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. But if I do get a girlfriend, chances are it would be not from necessarily. It wouldn't be from online dating. It would probably be from YouTube. Probably somebody who likes me on YouTube and makes Facebook friends with me or whatever. It's kind of hard though to know just from the pictures and what they describe of somebody if they're going to be compatible with you. Though you don't know until they're actually in your presence, especially if you're kind of eccentric like me. But if you're a regular run-of-the-mill person, I think internet dating is great, especially websites that tend to be really good about grouping people together, like Christian Singles, something like that. That would definitely be good. Or Fitness Singles, that kind of stuff. People who do the same thing. I think people who have the same interests basically can be compatible. Generally, it's pretty simple formula. It's kind of like arranged marriages. Arranged marriages are still the way to go in South Korea, and in a lot of countries. So it's kind of like the new arranged marriage. If you're a regular person, online dating would be good. If you're totally fucking crazy weird, then your best bet would just be to let kind of in a way to widen the talent pool by just getting yourself even more out there. So basically for me, if I wanted a girlfriend, the kind of person I am, the best thing for me to do, and actually do what I'm doing right now, is just make shitload of YouTube videos and gain the attention. But, yeah. Anyways, also, do you think people who never get married and or have kids are treated like outcasts in our society? Well, in the past, people who never had kids were treated as outcasts. In ancient Sparta, men who never had children, they weren't allowed to like sit down in the eating halls. They had to stand up, and they weren't allowed to. What else weren't they allowed to do? They weren't allowed to like make any decisions about stuff, and they weren't allowed to like. Yeah, there a whole lot of their normal rights were taken away from them. They were pretty much like outcasts. Now these are places that but Sparta was a place that they really wanted them to have as many kids as they could, because you were only a Spartan if you were born a Spartan. They wouldn't allow like helots or people from around the area to become Spartans. They had to be slaves their whole life. So it was really important. That was like the extreme. But I think, even in the book, the Principia Hermetica, the books about Hermeticism taken from ancient Greece, Egypt, I think a lot of normal people included a lot of bullshit in there. And, not all of it is like the word of the ancient gods or anything like that. But I remember saying in that book that, people who never have kids were like not as high up in society, or shouldn't be as held in high regard in society. But keep in mind, this is in the past when we were always trying to increase the population, and we're not trying to increase the population anymore. I guess once, like in the future, if we start having population problems, like say in Japan or Italy or something, Spain, where old people just aren't procreating, and they're not having they're not having enough workers to take care of the old people and all that kind of stuff, it could become an issue. But as of now, I think the only thing that would make you an outcast if you don't have kids are, is how you would feel about yourself, and then maybe like, if you choose to surround yourself by people who would judge you, then I'm sure there's lots of people who would judge you and treat you with less respect if you don't have kids. Kind of like how people would treat you with less respect in general if you don't have like a well-paying job. You have like just a menial job, and so if you're a menial job and you're single, and then people, you probably are going to notice people. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I hate it. This computer is such a fucking piece of shit. Shut up, dude. I'm doing a video. Fucking keyboard went out on me. Also, it's less than a year old. It's like a year old. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, so, oh yeah, you would probably notice that people are going to be treating you with less respect. Just like being dismissive, and then like kind of like trying to make you feel like the shit that you say is stupid or whatever. And then your friends might, treat you with less respect, call you less than their other friends with the family and stuff. But I don't have any real personal stories about that. People don't call me and write me and stuff. And maybe they would more if I had wife and kids, but that's just speculation. Basically, my point is, like in nowadays, people are not. I don't think it's that much of an issue at all. You can get so much more done if you're single. If you're a productive person, you have lots of projects and stuff, you can get a lot more done if you're single, generally, some people can work out. Like if two super hardworking people who like career-oriented people get married and then they each do their own job and they're married for all the benefits of being married, then that would I don't think that'd get in the way. Um, um, but no, I think maybe like in third world countries it's worse than in a first world country, as far as stigmas for people. A place like America, you can live your whole life single and not worry about anything and have any kind of be outcasted. Now I know that if you want to be like in a position of power, having a wife is fucking pretty much crucial. Every single president and politician and stuff, they all have the wife and kids. And a lot of those motherfuckers get the wife and kids so that they can be the president. Or they're chosen by their party to be the delegate because they have a wife and a family and kids, or their like wife is from like a connected family or something like that, holdovers from the past when people would marry each other just because of the family they came from, to try to keep the royal blood cohesive as possible, to keep the peace for the country. Yeah, I mean, I even heard that like in these plastic people, these politicians, they even, they would go to they'd get, designated to go to the Ivy League school, and then they go to all the like clubs and all the meetings or whatever, the skull and crossbones meetings and shit, and they get like arranged marriages, with other skull and crossbones plugged in bitches who don't want to be the housewife, politician wife or whatever, and they get married just for political purposes. I think that the Clintons were like that. They probably got married to each other, both wanting to try to be president later on down in the line. I'm not saying it's not also a legitimate relationship that they have, but yeah, a lot of people do that for professional reasons, although reasons to do that are actually, I think, waning very quickly. All these old, old ancient traditions and stuff, it's people aren't going to are caring about that less and less really quickly. And in this world we do live, I think we live in a meritocracy. Like if you really are smart and hardworking, the only thing getting in your way is time, and so you really are best off not being married and having kids if you're really ambitious and you really want to do something that takes a whole lot of time. But yeah, so I mean, if you see yourself as like somebody who's never going to get married, whether you're a man or a woman, I don't think it's anything to worry about at all. I don't think there's anything going to get in the way of you, even if you want to be president. All that whole stuff about all the presidents, and you want to get far in society, you have to be married. That's been true up until now, but I think pretty soon, all that's going to change. Like Barack Obama, wasn't he like the youngest president? He's the first half black. He's also, he was a community organizer. He was like a law lecturer in university. That's like a new path to become president. In the past, it was generals and super rich businessmen and aristocratic families and stuff. So, in the future, wouldn't be surprised if we got like a single black woman as president, because she spent her whole life busting her ass, figuring out the best way to run best decisions to make and the best way to be president in a new and different, fresh way. And people were like, so, yeah, I wouldn't be worried. I mean, I don't know what country, I mean, it's definitely different between countries, but in a country like America and probably a lot of countries in Western Europe, although they're a lot more judgmental there than they are here, I think you're going to be okay, dude. Don't worry about it. And, you can always get married, dude. And you can always get married for the same reasons that a young person get married. I was in the gym today, and there was some lady in there whose face looked all ragged, dude. She looked like she was 70, but she had the body of like a 20-year-old, dude. And fuck, man, I mean, my dick will get hard for a 70-year-old woman when I'm 70 if she's got a body of a 20-year-old, you know what I mean? Like, you never have to. It's never too late to have kids. It's never too late to get married. It's never too late to do anything, man. you can have. My dad was 50 when my brother was born. You know, I was in Bosnia, and this like this English guy or American guy or something. He was like the administrator of some hospital down there in Sarajevo, and he was like 70. He bought me like a meal. He was like 70 or something, and he had a 4-year-old son. So you know what I mean? Like fuck. Yeah. So no, they're not. But yeah, dude, online dating is the shit, man. It's it's not fun though. I don't. It's not something that I wouldn't want to. That I'm like motivated to try to do again because you know you never know if the person actually writes back and wants to date you, and what if they're fucking like just boring as hell. You know what I mean? And it's just like you're taking a big risk doing that. And also writing a whole bunch of people and then not writing you back is kind of can kind of be make it not worth it too. But would I ever do it? I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Okay. Peace out.